The RV Show USA is brought to you by Flagstaff, Rockwood, building better RVs, making smarter RVers.
All right, now that the U.S. is pretty much open and we're trying to return to normal, folks are traveling and they're RVing all over in the lower 48 more than ever. Campgrounds are full pretty much everywhere, but some of us are wanting to go up to Canada. What are they like up there in Canada? A lot of Americans are wanting to travel there right now this summer, and for good reason. To talk RVing in Canada, what it's like, and how RVing has changed there since COVID, are our friends and show correspondents from Living Light RV. They're native Canadians, Kent and Lisa Pederson. Greetings, guys.
Hey, Alan. How you doing?
Great to see you.
Doing great. Well, where are y'all right now?
Well, we're still in British Columbia. We did a quick little jaunt over to Alberta, and then we came back here. So we're kind of just bouncing around between provinces for the next couple of months.
Yeah, traveling between the mountains.
Yep.
Yeah, British Columbia is a pretty nice place to stay, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's gorgeous. Well, actually, I have to say, BC and Alberta are both absolutely gorgeous locations. We've spent some time just taking our time getting back and forth. Lots of time we would just commute, take that Highway 1, just zip back and forth. But, living in an RV, we are able to just slow down, and take some time. And it took us 6 days, I think, to do a trip that you could normally do in about 12 hours. So that was good.
That's what you learn when you full-time RV. You learn at first, it's like you want to do everything real quick, and then you go, what's the hurry, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. All right, so last summer about this time, I know we were all experiencing the beginning of the lockdown, the shutdowns because of the pandemic. How are things now for RVers in Canada versus the way they were a year ago for RVers in Canada?
Well, right now, a year ago, people were still RVing, but through the winter time and through the fall and the spring, things got a lot tighter, and now it's opening back up again. So we're excited because all of the campgrounds right now on the RV parks are getting very booked up through July, August. They're packed. So RVing is alive and well, especially in Western Canada.
Yeah, I was just going to give the caveat on that, because Eastern Canada, we just heard recently that Atlantic Canada is still on pretty tight lockdown. They really don't want tourists coming in. I know New Brunswick is having issues. They don't want tourists coming in to visit their province, but at least it looks like within your own province you can freely travel, and some provinces are open for interprovincial travel.
So the degree of uncertainty it's getting less. I mean, we're getting we're having more confidence that we can travel. Now, folks, Kent and Lisa have a YouTube channel called Living Light RV. They're full-time RVers who, as they say, live big on a small budget, pretty much. And they share their experiences of living in the moment on their channel. They provide content for us for the RV Show USA radio program. While they love Canada, I bet y'all are still wanting to explore the good old USA, aren't you?
We are. We love Utah, all the way through Montana, Colorado, Texas. We can't wait to have that border restriction lifted. Can you tell Biden to get this going, please?
Yeah, that's right. I'll tell you what, we'll talk to our prime minister and we'll say, you've got to let our American friends come into Canada for the summer, because I know a lot of you guys like to escape the heat from the southern states and come up into Canada for the summer. Yeah. And likewise, we really love heading down to your beautiful country for the winter. So I think we just need to put a little pressure on those governments to get them to
I'll make a call
border
to the White House as soon as we get off the air.
Sounds awesome. Right? Thanks, Alan. I appreciate that.
You bet. No problem. So are y'all allowed, as Canadians, are you allowed yet to come to the States?
No.
No, and the answer comes from directly from Border Services of the United States, because I don't always trust the breaking news that you find on Politico or Yahoo or from the government officials. So I made a phone call last week and said to your border services in, I guess it was Montana, I said, hey, is the border open? Can I just drive down there and go down to Arizona? And they said, no, it's closed. It's month to month till at least the 21st of July.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's still closed, but we just want to encourage people, though, to not, I know the tendency, our human tendency is to wait until that opportune moment or wait for the ideal situation. And we always like to encourage people to say, hey, you know what, as much as you are waiting for that border to open, as much as we're waiting for it to open, get out there and live your life in the meantime. Yeah. Don't just let things slip by while you're waiting for that ideal situation. So, I wanted to just give a couple of our favorite places, one in Canada and one in the States, just for your viewers here, Alan. For sure, Glacier National Park is one of the most beautiful places we have ever been to. Going to the Sun Road is gorgeous. It usually opens up about beginning of July because it's too much snow up there until then. So yeah, definitely if you're in that area going into Montana, check out that. Yeah. And if you're in Canada, we recently went through Okanagan Lake area. Yes. So it's absolutely stunning in there.
RVing is excellent.
It's in British Columbia. It's kind of like the south central area of British Columbia.
It's in Lake Country in British Columbia.
Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, Okanagan Lake.
Or the campground, down here in the States, campgrounds are packed. Are they packed up there in Canada without the tourists going up there, the tourist dollars?
Yeah, because of the same reason people can't fly from Vancouver to Spain or to Mexico or to Hawaii without the complications of coming back and going into quarantine. So they're staying local, and they've bought RVs and they're using them. Yeah. So this is the year to use your RV. 2 years from now will be the time to buy an RV.
That's what we're thinking for sure. Yeah, so definitely if you're going to be doing some camping, call ahead, make reservations if you can. And if you can't, have a plan B, be ready to, either boondock at last minute or, grab like a membership, Boondockers Welcome, Harvest Host, whatever it is. Yeah. Not necessarily promoting those organizations per se, but find some way to have your plan B so you can still get out there, still have fun, still make memories, but make reservations at your campgrounds if that's what you're wanting to do, because they're booking up.
Did you see, I think I sent you a screenshot of a news story I saw yesterday or day before that said Canada border closed and, Americans can't go up there. Is that all the way across every province?
Yes.
Really?
It is, yeah. Unfortunately, it is.
And it's a little stifling for Canadians or Americans that do that border crossing frequently. There's a few exceptions. If you're going for work and you live in the lower 48 states and want to drive to Alaska, you have to prove that you're going for work.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. And then if you're American but you have dual citizenship, you can cross the border. You can go into a 14-day quarantine unless you qualify to not, which is rare. And then, we know another couple that are doing that. They're driving from Florida all the way up to Nova Scotia, and they're going to do the 14 days because I think Larry is Canadian citizenship.
Yeah. So, but you definitely, if you're just wanting to go sightsee, let's say you want to go through Banff and Jasper and Lake Louise and take some pictures, it's not going to happen yet. Yeah. They always have every month, like July 21st is when they're going to reevaluate that. So who knows, maybe it will.
I would imagine people are frustrated to no end. I mean, the businesses up there, because they could be making lots and lots of money off American tourists. And this is the second summer in a row.
Yeah, it is. I think it must be similar for the snowbirds coming into the States, right? Like that's sort of the same thing. A lot of those campgrounds were relying on Canadians to come down, and now we weren't able to do that. So
they've discouraged, not that they've said you can't, but they've discouraged longer travel destinations too for driving. So they've discouraged people and tell them to stay nice and local, even though, that stops tourism to happen too. So it's going to take a while for that machine to start cranking out. But if you want to go today, fly to Alberta for July the 1st. They're open.
Really?
Yeah, you can't bring your RV and you have to quarantine for 14 days. So,
that's all. That's no big deal, right? I guess one bright spot is probably the campgrounds aren't quite as crowded as they have been in years past.
More space, but they're still full. There's a lot of people in Canada that have RVs.
I think what's happened, Alan, is a lot of non-RVers have suddenly realized, hey, look at this whole new way of having a recreation, a way of having family time. Instead of, like Ken said, hopping on a plane and traveling the world, let's just explore our backyard. So I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised at how full the campgrounds are already. Yeah.
And the boondocking possibilities up there in Canada, I mean, they're literally endless. You can just boondock, and every place seems to be beautiful.
Yeah. Well, everywhere we go is Western Canada, and there's a lot more options, I've been told, than our friends from Quebec that say actually most of the roads are all blocked and say no trespassing versus Western Canada.
Are you able to go between the provinces? I know last time we spoke, I thought you said that there were different, rules going from Ontario to Manitoba to.
Yeah, it was in lockdown. There were rules between provinces. There were rules even within regions of provinces. Lots of those have been lifted most recently, like in the last couple of weeks. So we're very excited about that. We're happy that we can actually start traveling and visiting family. And, you know,
the Premier of Alberta has said we want to follow some of the states like Texas and get open.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and you know, Alan, I think last time we mentioned the Calgary Stampede, and that actually is on. They're going to be running that. It's going to be kind of a restricted, sort of watered down version of the Calgary Stampede, but they are opening that. So that's a good sign, I think, that things are going to start opening up over the next few months.
But I read something that said that the internet, I think I read that the international border, the Canadian government did not want to open it up until at least 70% of Canadians had been vaccinated. And now there's only like 15% have been vaccinated. That's a long ways to go.
No, actually, it's 75% that have received their first dose.
First
they
dose,
have.
I think, is their thing. Yeah. No, that's what their goal is.
So they're pretty close.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
what we're at?
and it's about 28% that have received the second vaccination, but it's all about vaccinations now. So
it's getting the numbers up. Well, I thought it was much lower than that, so that's a good thing. So how have your views or thoughts about on the pandemic, all the restrictions, the mixed messages, that kind of thing, changed your view about RVing and travel, or has it? I know it's changed the way you do it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's made us appreciate the fact that we are pretty much self-contained. I mean, no matter where we go, we can just stay to our own self. Like, even if you're in a crowded campground, you can still sort of stay within your zone. We've got our own bathroom. We don't have to share. Even when we're traveling, it's not like we're having to go into, you know, a restroom or a restaurant. You know, we can do our own thing here. So it has made us appreciate that.
And the thing is, we just had to adjust for the colder weather to go to where it is warm enough. And we've enjoyed just living wherever we are in our RV.
But we are definitely hopeful that we can head south for the winter because, you know, our house has wheels and it's meant to travel. It's not meant to park like one spot for a long time.
I just got to ask you, I know that you wintered in your RV in Canada. Yes. I can only imagine. What was the coldest it ever got to, Kent and Lisa, when you got this last winter? I just got to hear.
Well, it wasn't that cold. It was, I'm going to say Celsius because that's all I know for now without doing the math quick. It got to minus 18.
Yeah.
And that was only for about 5 days in a row.
Yeah. But it's cold enough to freeze all your tanks, freeze all your pipes if you're not careful.
So we skirted for that week.
Yeah.
That was the only week we needed to skirt so that we could keep all of our under pipes and under tanks from getting solid.
Yeah.
So how many years now have y'all been full time?
Well, we started in September of 2018. So in September, it'll be 3 years.
3. There we go.
Yeah.
When you look back at when you guys started RVing, you know, first started, now you're full timing and versus back then, is it different than you thought it was going to be like, or pretty much the same thing as you guys had planned?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's all different because we would never know for what we're going to actually get into. We just knew that we were ready for it. So we've changed, we've adjusted, I have to live with her, and she has to live with me 24 hours every day in a small space. So
Lisa, how do you do it? How do you do it?
I know, right? See, they don't feel sorry for you. They feel sorry for me.
I know.
Hey, I want to tell you something. Before the show, when we were doing our pre-show test, Kent said something, and I can't remember what it was, Kent, forgive me, but he was actually right about something. And he said that he wanted me to make you aware that he had said something.
She wasn't even sitting here.
Yeah, you didn't even hear it. But whatever it was, he was correct.
I was right.
Oh, that's good. It happens once in a while, you know, you gotta live with it. Actually, I want to say just, Alan, because that is a good question. We get that asked a lot. How do you live in such a small space with somebody all the time? And really, it boils down to having a really good relationship, having good communication, respecting each other, and making time for individual space, individual time, you know? So maybe go for a walk, or one person gets up early or stays up late.
That's right. We actually do that. We make sure I get up early. She goes to bed late. We just have a little bit of space.
You need your alone time.
But we also park in some amazing places and have an incredible front yard.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So we actually
and it always changes.
We do kind of live outside a lot as well. So we have our little motorhome here. It's a vintage 1993 Class A. No slides. We live literally in a 28-foot hallway. It's pretty great. But we also have our outdoor space. So we make that kind of our extra living space.
And it can be anything.
Yeah.
It could be everywhere.
Yeah.
What does the summer look like for Living Light RV? Where are you guys going, or is that kind of a work in progress?
We're so excited. We're going to head north. So we're going to explore northern Canada. We're going to head northern Alberta and up into Northwest Territories. And of course, we're going to take, anybody who wants to come with us on our YouTube channel. We'll be showing all the things that we're going to be seeing and hopefully some wildlife, meeting some people. I actually have Métis heritage. So that is First Nations, and it's Cree and First Nations, and Cree and French Canadian. So I've got kind of this heritage that I want to explore, and that whole area up in the Northwest Territories is rich with that heritage. Yeah. So I've got a lot of family ancestry stuff that I want to research and hopefully meet some relatives. So I'm pretty excited about exploring that part.
And
of my
I want to
life.
drone over a whole bunch of any ruins that we find or gold mines and such. I want to get nice and close with a flying camera.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And I just did in Headley, BC. So that's coming up soon.
Yeah. So northern Alberta.
Your drone footage, of course, if you can fly a drone and you go to Canada, you're going to get some pretty outstanding footage. But your drone footage, Kent, is just beautiful. And I just, that's one of the things I like best. And, and I got to say this, and I say this in a very positive way. Folks, Kent and Lisa's Living Light RV is not a mega channel. And I don't think you guys want it to be, but it's an intimate, real, a very close-knit channel. You've got people that just love you, and you've got to say, what is it? Grabbing life by the
life by the tail.
TALE.
Yeah, we spell tail that way because it's all about the story. It's all about the experiences that we have, that we can share those experiences around a campfire or with our friends and have those memories that you can hang on forever. So
that's where the richness of life happens, when we transfer our stories between each other.
Yeah.
And the fish stories, they get bigger every time you tell them. That's how it works.
Heck yeah.
Exactly.
I'm pretty good at telling some of those fish stories. I know I always say, don't ever tell a lie, but you can make the truth sound a whole lot better. So anyway,
you can make life look great on YouTube.
Exactly. For sure.
All right, listen, we're running short on time, but thank you all for being with us. And as Canada opens up, let's get you back on. And thank you for being correspondents on the radio show. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, we love being part of the RV Show USA. Thanks for having us, Alan. Take care.
You bet.
All right. Be good. See y'all later. Bye-bye. All right, some of the nicest people right there who do their best, as Lisa said, to grab life by the tail, TALE. You can connect with Kent and Lisa through Living Light RV, or on our website. Just go to thervshowusa.com and click on our team, and you can jump over from there. Again, our website is thervshowusa.com. Again, thervshowusa.com.